Welcome to episode 2 on the Ani-TAY Podcast. Today's 4th of May 2014, and as usual, I'm your host here, Ken, as Fruity, and with the usual guest, we have David.
Hey.
Kevin.
Hello.
And Richard.
Hello.
And with today's episode, with our special guest, we have Koda.
Hey.
And because you're new to this episode of the podcast, you want to give yourself an introduction?
Alright, my name's Koda. I go by the username Koda89. I currently live in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And I like to write about anime and occasionally video games on TAY. And I got into anime all the way back in 1996. Started with stuff like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, Tenchi Muyo, and so forth, and all that stuff. Right now, my personal top 3 anime would have to be Silver Spoon, actually, at number 3.
Silver Spoon.
Ooh.
Oh. No judging yet.
What, you're not hearing the nods of approval from my corner?
Fair enough.
Continue, Koda.
Number 2, it's still a Gurren Lagann. Yeah.
I think so,
Yep.
yeah. Classic pick. It's a classic pick.
Yep. And
Classic giant mecha. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
And
else can you
And
say?
number 3.
Yeah.
Number 3.
And number 1 is still unchanged. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
06 or Brother?
No,
Oh, yeah, Brotherhood.
Oh,
Yep.
Brotherhood. Fair enough. Quite the good picks, actually, I have to admit. They're not bad. Not bad at all. Right,
good
so that's of the cast assemble. We've all been watching, this is spring 2014 now of anime, and we've all been watching quite a lot, actually. We've all picked up quite a few, I'd have to admit. This is much better than what I would say last episode for our pickings. And one of the animes that we're all watching, it seems, is No Game, No Life. And I think a lot of us enjoy it seems, from what I've heard of it by everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone who doesn't know the anime No Game, No Life, it's about the two siblings who are these legendary pair of gamers called Blank, as in not even the letters blank, it's just this emptiness within the name, using the tag that is, and they get transported into a mythical world, or magical, doesn't matter which, and in this world everything is decided by games, and the story unfolds where they meet a princess of the human race, and then what seems to be the rise of power on the human empire. That's pretty much correct, right?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, without giving away spoilers, of course, because in case people want to watch it. But in this episode, we will be. We seem like we might exploit some. Anyone's first thought on it? Before we really get into this.
I think it's done very well. Like, and if you're into games, then there's a lot of references for you. And it's just enjoyable. It's like their rules is very well done, like documented very well, and it's a good show. I mean, what else is there to say?
I have some reservations about it occasionally, but generally it's a good show. Sometimes how the plots work out rub me wrong, but that's just my persnicketyness coming in.
It has quite, I think, a little bit of a flavour that you have to quite get a taste of, more of an acquired taste of anything. Especially what was episode 3. Like, it could either rub you as you thought it was epic and amazing, or I thought it was quite cliche. And I mean, I'm never as in any anime I watch, when they try to do these big like epic speeches of some form, and then it's meant to like get you riled up and ready for whatever's going to happen. I felt like in this case it fell flat. I didn't feel.
Well, that was the point, wasn't it?
Good.
It was supposed to be this kind of cliche, over-the-top speech.
Yeah.
That was the whole
yeah.
point. It was supposed to be a cliche, over-the-top speech because it's supposed to inspire the people that aren't really people. Right?
Yeah.
True. Yeah. True.
Which
they're all cliches. The loyal knight, the heartbroken queen, they're all stereotypes. So he's giving them the stereotypical speech to appeal to the stereotypes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what
Well,
was
I mean, that whole episode is, well, 2 episodes, I guess, in a way. They kind of rubbed me wrong, but as people have pointed out, I just have a problem with how the chess game, what seemed to be a chess game, kind of just evolved into whatever the hell you want just goes.
But that's the thing.
I thought
It wasn't
that
a
I know
chess game.
that's
That was
supposed
the
to be the
joke.
point,
Yeah.
but I mean, there's
It's
just
magic,
it
David.
seemed like
It's-
anything could go, and that seems like it flies in the face of the world that we've been presented.
Well, that's the thing. He thought he was playing chess.
yeah,
He wasn't.
Yeah, but
the
he wasn't.
game wasn't that. The game wasn't a chess game. He just didn't know that.
yeah.
It was a
So
strategy
it's not
game.
like the rules were broken of the world or anything. It's just they were playing war. That was the game they were playing. They weren't playing chess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's difficult to
magic, David.
describe why exactly I disliked that particular arc, but yeah.
Mind you, the
we'll see where it
episode
goes.
actually- the one you're on about, actually, the episode that actually leads up to the chess game. The one where, I think, is it the same episode where they play rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah.
That
Yeah, it
also,
is.
Yeah.
Same
Well,
episode.
that was ridiculous.
Yeah, that came out left wing from me nowhere. I was just like for me when I take anyway when it comes to maths, because it's just percentages and chances, I was just like for suddenly like information drop on you, and I just like couldn't absorb enough of it quick enough so I could
No,
understand.
I had to
what
watch
was
that one
actually
twice.
That was
Yeah.
whack, and I got the vague feeling that that would
Yeah.
never work anywhere.
It was
It
just
sounded like utter BS to me, so I just kind of ignored it.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I was. I didn't watch it again. I was just like, you know what? You guys don't know what you're talking about. Well, I suppose you do know what you're talking about, but there's no possible way that you could possibly figure this out. So just
it was like
move
entering
on.
the rabbit hole. Like you knew the initial rule, which was he would never play rock. He was always going to play, was it paper or something? So I thought, okay,
Yeah.
then you know what to do. And then we just go down the rabbit hole of information and statistics. Like, what? You don't need to do this. You just
Well,
know he's not gonna
No,
play.
that was a translation
Well, I
thing.
mean-
He claimed he would do that. That was never a promise. But what he said is basically the real rules were if we tie, that's you'll give me a place to live. Like that was it, or that's what she thought it was anyway. Was if we tie, I get a place to live. That's it. If you win, then I'm your slave. If I win, I can ask anything of you I want. But the thing was, he said that the paper thing was he can only win with paper the overall game.
Yeah.
He can beat her, like
Oh,
he
right.
could play the other ones and he would win, but it would still only count as a tie. The only
I
true
see.
win would be if he did paper. That's the only way for him to get his winning conclusion.
Yeah.
But of course, it was all a trick where it didn't really matter one way or the other. But I think that was a translation thing,
Yeah.
that rather than a like. Don't get me wrong, it was too much information, and I had to watch it twice. But the translation wasn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they did a bad job translating. I'm just saying that like, at the speed at which they had to do it, it was
Information
kind
was
of-
lost.
Yeah, it was kind of lost in there.
Yeah.
Not
I understood
not willing
everything.
translators.
I understood everything in one go.
Well, you see, when you say that, all I have to say to that is, again, there's no possible way that anybody could possibly come up with a plan of this magnitude that quickly.
No,
I don't
no.
care how. I don't care who this person is.
Yeah.
Well, is it?
So again, this
So
is
wait,
one of
wait,
those
wait,
things
wait,
where you
wait,
just
wait.
kind of have to hand wave it and go, okay, let's just move on.
Wait, let me get this straight. So, you're okay with the little 11-year-old girl who is a grandmaster chess player.
Absolutely
but you're not
not.
okay
But
with
again,
the
we're
guy
moving
who
on.
thinks about paper, scissors, rock too much.
Look, we're just moving on, okay? We're moving on.
You might have dug yourself a little pit there. But I have to admit, the show is absolutely looks wonderful. I think the color.
Oh,
the
yeah.
colour palette, I think is quite nice. It has a lovely color palette. I think.
I love the use of...
I think it's a little overpowering sometimes.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah, same.
yeah,
Like,
certain
it's
stages,
done,
yeah.
overdone.
Yeah.
I mean, like maybe that's what they got going at the time, though.
It's
you
kind
know,
of
so
like
far.
you have a painting and then you put on a whole bunch more red just because you felt like it. It's good, but it's also a little overpowering and it doesn't feel like it quite needs to be that hue, let's say.
Yeah. I think the best thing about the show, though, are the two main characters.
Yes.
The brother and the sister.
Oh,
The reason is, I love the brother because the brother is all about reading people, reading the other gamer. That's how he plays. So he's fantastic at a game like poker, where it's as much as about reading the other player as it is the odds. And however, the girl's the exact opposite. She's all about the statistics and the odds and how to play things properly. She's not. She's playing the game straight up as it was meant to be played, the best possible way. And that's why I like in the second game we see them play, a normal real game of chess, she becomes befuddled when the opponent does not make the best move possible, because she doesn't know how to deal with that. She doesn't know how to deal with people making mistakes.
Well, that's because she's used to playing against a computer. This was like her first time playing against a human opponent. That's why her brother had to step in.
Right, but that's the thing. That's how it is, and we see it in other ways too. When she's watching the poker game, when they're both watching the princess and the usurper play poker, the little girl is watching the game, calculating the odds, looking for how the girl is possibly cheating, using odds or counting cards or whatever, and she can't figure it out. The brother just looks across the room for the person who's using magic to fuck with the cards.
Exactly.
And they make a really good pair because of that. And that's kind of, that's kind of the whole point, is they are one gamer. They're one really good person together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like how the show plays on that and like makes humor because of it. Like the whole situation where if they're not in the same room,
oh man,
that's just I don't know how I feel about that one.
Yeah,
it's good comedy, but it's like one of those things where you're going,
It's good thing you touched on that, Kevin. I mean, like, I don't know if anyone else picked this on. When the brother went to hire a room for the inn, he didn't ask for a room with 2 beds. He asked for a room with 1 bed, as if they were a couple. And I was straight away like, all my, alarms were going off. Like, wait a minute,
no.
What sort of show are you gonna be?
No. He said a room with 1 bed is okay. That's different than.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't. It wasn't. He said that. Oh, I want 1 bed only.
No, he just wanted the best deal he could get.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, who knows? We know she has a brother complex, but that was kind of obvious.
One of the. I mean, as another note as well, probably one of the better lollies this season, right? I mean, this is a season full of lollies, and Megan in Real Life has to take precedence on probably 10%. Not that there's many.
I have trouble with lollies, but sure, why not?
Oh no, I won't say.
Not to say that's a great award to have, the best lolly of the season. I'm just
saying, it's not a
probably one of the better lolly characters written ones anyway.
Yeah.
I don't care what the.
I have to say this. I think it's important to bring this up. So the other people at Kotaku, they want to know what I'm watching and stuff. Especially good old Mike Fahey. He always wants to know. And so I gave him my recommendation for No Game No Life, and his response was he watched the first episode and he's like, I was really enjoying it. Until we saw the 11-year-old girl panty shot, and then I had to call it. And I was like, he was like, "I'm sorry, I have these things. They're called daughters, and that's where I have to stop." And that's true. There's really no need for it in this show at all. At all. So, yeah.
But
I mean, I get the complaint. I get the complaint, but and I feel bad that that's in there. Because it really, it always bugs me when we run into that stopping block. Yeah. I mean, we may be desensitized to it, but the average viewer,
no.
But
let me just say, this isn't like it's happening every episode or something.
No.
Just for everyone listening, this was
a one-off thing so far.
No,
we haven't seen it again.
3 times in the first episode. 3 times in the first episode.
Yeah. But it doesn't happen all the time.
No.
But
her.
We'll see if it happens again.
Yeah, her in the shower. That's another one.
Yeah.
They're sexualizing her. Let's face it.
Yeah.
They are doing it.
Yeah.
It's not egregious. It's not like, oh my god, like in some shows, but it's there.
Yeah.
No matter how much we don't want it to be, it is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do like the princess character that we meet there.
Oh
how the quote unquote the forced tsundere on her, like it's almost forced because of the rules. I love that. Like it's almost a great player for on how to write their character. She still hates him, but because of the game, of the rules of the world, she has to love him.
Oh god,
it's almost the perfect tsundere we have.
The Stephanie scope in the second episode was hilarious.
Yeah, but did you realize why that left? Did you figure that out?
Yeah,
Why
she
that's
truly fell in love with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she fell in love with him. Yeah, the moment she really
fell in
did,
love
it went
with
away.
him,
Yeah. So that was fun.
I wish they played on that more, hopefully, because I thought that was a really fun way of like reusing tropes anyway. I thought it was a really good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bishonen the Bishonen cam was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bishonen.
Another thing this show does really well is its use of references. Its Phoenix Wright and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure references are hilarious.
Yeah, they were really funny.
They were really well used. Yeah, I thought it was really good. But how else could you use JoJo's Bizarre Adventure though, unless you changed your entire art style to suit it? What was JoJo Bizarre Adventure?
It was all the poses. That was what it was. It had to be the pose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to be the pose. Yeah.
All right.
Well, another anime we've all been watching. Then it's Captain Earth. I think a certain series I'm super happy about watching. Koda, do you want to give us a quick summary of it?
All right.
Of what the anime is.
Captain Earth is a mecha series from Bones, so it's well-traveled territory for them.
Yeah.
It's about a high school student named Daichi Manatsu, and he gets roped into piloting a mecha called the Earth Engine against these really weird aliens called a Kilty Gang, who also somehow become their own mecha, like the living mecha.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if they reach Earth, something bad happens.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
Although,
Which is exactly like Bones.
yeah.
If
That's
something
because of
happens,
most-
then something else will happen.
Yeah.
I have to say, since I'm not a big mech fan, and I don't know why, but it just happens to be. I have to admit, when watching most of the mech scenes with the Earth, the actual mech, it's all actually animated rather than CGI, and for me it looks so slick. It's like astoundingly smooth. All the transitions to supposed to a CGI mech, and for me that really makes the show so much more entertaining when watching it. Like there are certain aspects of CGI when he's blasting into space, which looks amazing by the way because of rockets. Right, I didn't know how much rockets I needed in my life till Captain Earth came up, so it was amazing to see him blast off into space. But
Yeah, we'll get to that.
The actual scene was amazing. I thought, like all of it looks so slick, so smooth. It was just what I thought mech anime should always look like. No
And
more
that's why
CGI
we have
really.
to watch that exact same sequence every episode, frame for frame,
Yep.
the same.
Yeah, definitely.
It gets you pumped up for the fight. It gets you ready. Like, I think it gets like the music, the entire that entire track that goes on when he's blasting, through each gates when he get the parts of the mech. Just gets you geared up for the fight, man. It gets you really into it. I thought.
Except I'm sitting.
I'm happy.
I'm unfortunately on the side of why don't you just keep the thing assembled and in space?
I know.
How
don't
much
get me
rocket
wrong,
fuel
if you want-
do they waste?
If you want to launch him every time, I'm okay with them launching him, I guess, because they want to do stuff on Earth. So whatever.
Yeah.
But the whole mech every time.
It's such a waste.
Like what is this? Are we in Seed Destiny again? Is that it? It's like
Maybe-
quick, launch the rest of the mech so it can combine for no reason.
I mean, maybe it's because I've become like some kind of novice rocket scientist because of Kerbal Space Program, but all I'm thinking is, this is so inefficient.
It is.
But it's not cinematic. It's not entertaining if we don't show it. That's the thing. It gets us, the audience, just so revved up. Like,
Look,
yes,
look, it was fine for the first episode, so they could
Right.
throw it up in the opening sequence every single episode, but when you do it as much as they do, it's like...
He's only been up to space like twice. Actually 3 times.
Well,
twice.
Okay, if you're gonna tell me that they aren't gonna do it more, I'm gonna call crap.
Yeah.
Okay, they probably will do it more, but so far, in episode 4 to... we're at episode 4 now, I think, aren't we?
Yeah.
Twice, right? Yeah, it's fine. It's only 50% of the time he goes off into space we see it. I don't get tired of it at all, personally. I get, if anything, I get more pumped up for the scenes ahead.
Oh, well, I suppose it gets you
I
pumped
think it's
up,
a great
but...
piece of animation, really.
Well, it's pretty, but there's this thing that we call the suspension of disbelief.
Yes.
And just how much am I willing to disbelieve? Like, because on one hand, they're like, if these guys reach Earth, that's it. We're all dead. Everyone dead. Like, it's the apocalypse.
So let's
we're
keep
gonna
the kid
waste
on the
a good
ground.
10 minutes every episode launching. Because we've got to allow them to get closer, I guess. Because why? Because we don't need that extra 10 minutes of fighting it. We'd rather have it down to the wire each time. So we got to have a 10-minute launch thing, which is even funnier considering how long it should take them to launch it.
Yeah.
Every time. like this should be like a 2-hour process to launch it. While
It should be longer than that. It should be longer than that. Because
I mean just launching, not even like pre-launch, which should take 48 hours at minimum.
Because, again, Kerbal Space Program has given me a new appreciation for orbital dynamics and all that, but, I mean, the space station will not always be over the launch pad. It won't.
No, it won't.
So what you'd have to do is you would have the guy coming at you. You would have him coming to Earth, and you'd be like, "Okay, guys, we have 3 more hours until the space stations. All 3 of them, right?
Are
There's 3 of
lined
them,
up
right?
properly, yeah, because it's three.
All 3 of them. All 3 of them have to be lined up perfectly. All 3 of them have to be over the rocket pad, and you have to launch it right as it comes over.
Yeah, and moreover, we see that they're not in geosynchronous orbit because they have to come together.
Yeah.
Everything.
I think that's one minor
It
detail
hurts.
we're looking
It
at
really
overall
hurts the
quality.
novice
it's
rocket scientist.
It's how much
Okay,
are
I'm
you
done.
willing to disbelieve? And if you're able to disbelieve it, then you'll probably have a lot of fun. If you're not, you're probably going to be like, oh, okay, let's do it again. Let's sigh. But other than that, yeah.
I think it's really solid show so far.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, if you can look over what you guys have been apparently nagging on for, then I think it's quite probably the most stable and solid show of the season.
Yeah.
Well, it's certainly internally consistent. Yes.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
Yeah,
internally
exactly, yeah.
consistent. And that's fine. The only thing is, like, I'm surprised at the things that I'm supposed to be surprised about. Namely, like, character reveals. Like, you mean the guy who can create magical rainbows from his hand isn't human?
Human?
Oh, no! Really?
You mean the douchebag in the suit is actually evil?
No.
No.
Or wait, the girl who we found floating with a magical gun in a thing of water for hundreds of years, she might not be normal? Wow. Just freaking wow, guys. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm still confused. Like there's lots of things that I'm kind of interested about where where they, I'll say this. I did say they were internally consistent, and that's not entirely true, as we see. Because, like, the thing that really bugged me so far is when the good guy alien hops into his mechanical body, it materializes in space, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's fine, but except for the fact that we know that the closest you can materialize is at the moon. That's the point.
True.
You can only materialize at the moon. That's why they have to come from the moon. That's the closest. Yet they're 95% of the way to Earth, and he beams in with his. And I'm just kind of like, come on, guys. That was the big rule. That's the premise of your show. You can't just be like, well, he shows up because he has to. No, make him fly for 10 minutes and get there. Don't make him just appear. And so that kind of bugged me because, like, I'm watching, I want it to make sense. And that gets me.
Yeah.
Because that's a big deal. That's the premise of the show that you have just disregarded. And then apparently, like, just by leaving it up there, I guess he can jump back into it again at any time without even having to materialize.
Yeah,
I'm just kind of like, why don't you guys pop out behind the moon where no one can see, drift to Earth?
Yeah.
You win. Like, that's apparently...
Well, to be fair, though, like... Granted, this is going to spoil, but the quote-unquote antagonists, or the people piloting the antagonist mechs anyway, are on Earth anyway. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really... I mean, like, granted, we haven't gotten the full season yet, so to be fair, the first 4 episodes or so far at the moment seem to be not showing all their entire hands, so we don't really know what's going on apart from keep things at bay or shit goes down. So... it is really like it's fair to say that, like, why don't half this stuff just happen? But obviously the antagonists, the two what seem to be siblings, on Earth. Like, we see an episode of them driving a ice cream truck, or crepe van.
Yeah.
You know, so like straight away you're thinking, well, they're on Earth. Why don't you do your nasty thing now? You know, well. Okay.
Yeah, I guess they have to be in their quote-unquote real bodies to do it. And that's what I gathered. But at the same time, you're being really uncreative about how to get your real bodies to Earth. You don't need to fly in on a super powerful mech with bright lights making lots of explosions. Put yourself in an asteroid, you know, like, be in your thing, climb inside a boulder, have the other mech push it, wait 2 days, you win. Congratulations. But instead it's like, no, we must be as wasteful and flashy as possible.
It wouldn't make for good story otherwise, on a visual level anyway.
Well, you know, it's again, this is a personal gripe where I have a problem with bad guys who are really stupid. Like, there's no point where I should be watching a show and in 30 seconds figure out how to win. Like, because then it makes the characters seem stupid, and stupid characters aren't a legitimate threat. And stupid protagonists aren't entertaining to watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my issue. Now, again, if you're entertained enough, you can let anything go. That's a suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
But for me, is how I view things. That's the problem I have with Captain Earth. I don't think it's potentially bad, but I keep watching it and going, come on, somebody use a brain.
Yeah.
You know? Or even when it tries to surprise me, it doesn't. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm still watching it. I'm decently entertained, but every time I get into it, something pulls me out. So,
I mean, aside from all the mech stuff, I think also on the other hand, the actual characters that we follow anyway. I mean, granted, some of it's a bit out there, especially when he shoots the tower. I thought, well, there goes.
Yeah.
Okay, the tower. That was bones.
That was a bit funky.
I kind of like that though. I kind of like that idea though. It's like, how are you going to stop him? He has a magical gun. Like really, like at that point, he might as well have just been walking around flipping the double deuce to everyone, because it's just like, we're gonna lock you in this room. Yeah, well, I can summon a magical gun. Like, especially when it's like, guys, like I'm waiting for him to be like, okay, two things: you can't stop me without killing me, because A, I have a magical gun, and B, I'm the only one capable of piloting the mech that's saving Earth. And even the bad guys who are trying to, you know, push for their other plan, like, they're gonna lose whatever support they have if they say something like, yeah, you can't pilot that thing to save all mankind. We don't have an ulterior motive at all. You know, I mean, even the bad guys aren't that dumb. So it's just kind of like, I'm waiting for him to realize the fact that, yes, he has full run. He can do whatever he wants, and they can't stop him.
Until the mid-season reveal, something, someone else can pilot something. Okay, sorry, I just spoiled something I don't even know about.
Yeah, right. No, I'm with you on that. But it's just kind of, again, it's like...
I'm not sure if anybody mentioned it yet, but at the very beginning, like, along with that, I mean, he essentially waltzed into a high-security place.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't high-security,
because
he just waltzed into a giant robot that's expensive as all hell and launched himself into space without anybody getting...
All right. This is Bones, okay? This is what Bones always does. So I think we have to kind of give him a pass here, because we've given him a pass every other time.
Yeah.
I mean, let's think about it. Eureka 7, the same thing happened. In fact, he was he even younger?
I think so.
Can't say I've seen
Eureka 7 to AO. Basically the same thing happened. Sort of. In a way. Never mind.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I will accept the general premise of we have to get him in the mech. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, that makes sense to me. Especially because I actually didn't find it too bad, because I don't even know if he was where the mech was. He teleported. The gun teleported.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
There's
suddenly
some freaky
he's teleported,
teleportation.
standing in front of this scientist who's like, hey, want to fly a giant mech? Do I? Like, you know.
Yeah, and the scientist is not fazed by this at all. So
yeah,
you're
it's
just
like, oh, guy just teleported in front of me and has a magical gun. Want to pilot something? Here, I'm going to use a proper noun that no one else has used ever in the history of mankind. Oh, except for your dad. Like, sorry, that got me too. That got me too.
Yeah, I'm sure that this will become a plot point later, or maybe it'll just follow the typical Bones because it had to happen, so we're not going to discuss it, but we'll see. Okay. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's the many benefits that come with owning a magical gun. I mean, like, if I owned a magical gun, I think I'd be given multiple passes, you know?
Yeah.
But, but so far, a lot of the characters we've met, I am enjoying, and a lot of the interactions and the chemistry between them all.
No, you're definitely right. The characters and their friendship is definitely the strongest point of this series.
Yeah, so far it's definitely putting. It's just almost put to it almost feels like there's stakes at hand when I think it was episode 4 when the break-in happens. You're thinking, oh, something could happen, but at least you're on the pretense of something potentially happening that could wreck your love of the characters, but it's okay anyway. Yeah.
And I really like the necklace exchange thing that they keep doing.
Yeah.
Like, that is a really cool thing because it makes them both own it, in a really kind of cool way. Not only is it the symbol of their friendship, but the fact that one of them kept it for years and years, and then they immediately start back with it. And it's cool because there are generally things that are surprising, and that's just like I like that they actually point out how freaking weird half of this is. It's like, well, it's like, oh, you became a giant robot. Well, here's the necklace. Good try. I was genuinely surprised by that, and then they move on.
You got me. I'm just a kid. I'm like a 10-year-old kid. You got me, buddy.
Yeah.
But Captain Earth is still entertaining. It's definitely entertaining.
It's scenery, porn, and Bones plot, and it's worth watching for that reason.
To me, it's the most charming slice of life mecha I've ever seen, and I love it because of that. I mean, come on, we're watching a slice of life mecha.
But again, I kind of want to say that's been Bones' mantra for a while. But you might be right by saying that this is the best one they've done.
Yeah.
I mean, Eureka 7 reeks more than a little bit of slice of life occasionally. Not the school part, but yeah.
All I remember from Eureka 7 was giant mechs that need to travel through skateboards.
Yeah. It's they're surfing on air, blah blah blah. It doesn't.
No.
I still have reservations about that series and some of its explanations. Okay, let's move away from that.
Well, let's go to a show that I know both Kevin and David love ever so much. And
we can hardly maintain. We can hardly keep our glee in.
You're basically bursting through. So quickly, why don't you introduce us to the show?
It is Kanojo ga flag. If her flag breaks.
Yep.
Anyway, it is a harem romantic comedy this season, and it is absolutely glorious.
It's so great.
It is.
Like,
all right. Before we start getting into that. It is about Sota, a new transfer student who has the ability to see flags above people's heads. And flags basically tell the future of that person. So if you see a death flag above their head, they're about to die. If you see a romance flag above their head, then you're about to get into a relationship with them. If there's a victory flag, then hilarity ensues when the audience notices. Anyway. So... what else is there to say other than it's lampshading flags everywhere, like death flags, romance flags. Oh.
Just so you know, in Japanese, when they talk about flags, like the death flag or the romance flag, basically that's their way of saying tropes. Common tropes in this kind of story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like it's the same thing. The most common death flag in all Western fiction is the policeman who has a wife and child and is 2 days away from retirement. We all know what's going to happen to him.
Yeah.
That trope that would be called the death flag. There's an example. Just like the girl who's like, I don't like you, I hate you so much, I think you should die. You know that they're probably going to fall in love. Again, that's a romance flag. So that's just an example of what they mean by flags.
Yeah, piggybacking off of what Richard said, so we're following Sota through the series, and he picks up a whole bunch of girls along the way. And they're every trope you can think of. Just rattling them off. You got you got a princess from some obscure European country, which I'm sure is a trope somewhere.
Yeah, it shows up a lot.
Probably is.
That shows up a lot, so it's got to be a trope. And she kind of rocks a little bit of the tsundere archetype, but it depends. You've got a Kane.
She's surprisingly supportive for a tsundere.
Yeah. Which is why I can't entirely pin down what she is. We'll see where she goes from here. You got a Kane, who is... How do you describe her? She's just like full-on dere all the time.
Yeah.
She's just the rich girl.
She's a puppy
who
dog.
is never sad. And when she is sad, she immediately gets happy again, like we saw in the first episode.
Yeah,
That was so great.
It's you scold the puppy, and then the puppy goes,
Oh,
but it's okay, right?
But it's okay. I don't want to be your
unless-
friend. Oh, but we can still be friends.
Yeah, like that was funny. I did enjoy the oh, let's eat lunch together. No.
No.
Okay,
Oh.
then how about you eat lunch while I sit here, and then I'll eat after. like it gets more absurd, but the result is always the same.
And while all this is happening, the friendship flag above her head keeps getting knocked off, and then coming back, and knocked off, and coming back. And it's just... It was brilliant. I was laughing at that one. And that doesn't happen often.
It's campy, it's tropey, and it's amazing. The more you go on to TV tropes or like learn these tropes, the more you will enjoy this. It's so tropey and it's so great. I love it.
And it wears it on its sleeve. It knows what it's trying to do, and it goes for it, because every single episode they like point out a trope. Some kind of trope. Yandere, tsundere, the rich girl... And of course, the big...
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I just love it because the picture on the flag was like a girl like black-faced with a knife.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's like, oh, it's the Yandere flag. I'm like, oh, you've seen these before. What have you been doing, sir?
And it's an absolutely tropey harem fest, and I don't know who I'm shipping. It's just... Is there...
Yeah. My favorite character in this has to be Megumu, the trap.
Oh, the trap.
Yeah, the trap is so funny. Oh, she's...
Yeah.
Is it she?
Okay, wait. Megumu...
Is it...
He is.
Yeah,
is it classified
Megumu.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a he.
Oh,
He's
voice?
a straight up
He's
he.
he's
Yeah,
absolutely adorably funny.
It's why he always gets sad every time someone confuses him for a girl. And it's always a little wimp. It's like,
Or you're after all, you're the
Or the
only
dead
boy.
eyes.
Boom.
So yeah, Megumu is a boy character voiced by a girl that we all know very well.
yeah.
I don't know how to say her name exactly, but it's Kana Hanazawa?
Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
Kanahanazawa.
Sounds
Okay.
like, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we see her everywhere, so when we saw her show up voicing a trap character, I think we all laughed a little bit.
And it's only the first one she's voiced this season. There's another one.
Well, I'll be the dissenting opinion. I don't think this is brilliant. I do get some laughs out of it. I don't feel like I waste my time or anything watching it. But I feel spoiled by like
Nokome?
multiple choice, rom-com, Nokome. Like that spoiled me, I think. That was layer upon layer of jokes that I was always laughing. This one it's one joke. The whole show is one joke. And if you enjoy that joke, you're going to have a great time. If you think that joke is kind of funny, you'll have a kind of fun time. If you don't find it funny, you're not going to find it funny. That and like I'm not one for the harem shows these days because we're almost guaranteed no resolution.
Yeah, that's true.
As always.
Like if somebody gets chosen in the end, I bet you my opinion will go up several rungs.
Oh, yeah.
But now we have the obvious girl and the rest of the girls, and that's it. And it just goes, and I kind of shrug and laugh at the funny, but I don't know if I'd call it anything special. I don't think anybody's gonna remember it. Like I don't think somebody's gonna be sitting there at the end of the year and go, that was the best comedy of the year, just hands down. I would be disappointed if this turns out to be like, if nothing gets better than this. I will be very sad by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I also sit quite more on leaning on Richard's side of the fence because I mean at the latest episode when they keep like hinting at the death flag we are going to spoil. I think it actually showed in episode 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, it showed in episode 1 in the mirror.
Sorry, about the main character. So I can say it. Yeah, so the main character actually has his own death flag that he doesn't have to topple, so to speak. And depending on how, I mean, when it comes to these sort of comedy harem shows, normally I like to go either full all in, like you just go all about the characters, all about the comedy, nothing else, right? Or if you're going to try this sort of like, deep drama stuff at the end, you've got to be really careful about how you handle this, and it either falls flat on its face like a good portion, 80% of the time, so most harem shows do it, or you got those few select that are, the chosen ones, you could say, that actually do handle their drama really well and have a reasonably successful resolution. And if how they handle this death flag, again, I think it could be either memorable because of how they handled the last few episodes on that whole death flag situation, or it's just going to make me dislike the anime because of it. Like, you spend like 6-7 episodes enjoying it, and then you're like, oh Jesus, well, we have to go through all this rubbish again.
Now we have to get to the serious stuff. Yeah,
and it doesn't really suit the anime at all. The most, I mean, like, even the latest episode was just him like going through the greenhouse, and him going through all this funky stuff. I was like, oh, where's this going? Oh, I'm just like bracing for myself for the big drop, which is like, well, I'm gonna just ruin my entertainment, my experience at the moment. But so far, it's reasonably entertaining, I have to admit. Like, it's not the best I've seen, but it's certainly fun. It's definitely worth a watch, I guess.
Well, Rock and I aren't going to budge. We love this. So we must fall into Richard's little category of people who, if we love this joke, we're just going to love it. And we do love it. We absolutely love it because we're getting all these tropes lampshaded that we always get so mad about sometimes. Oh, it's so fun.
Right.
All right.
Well, if that's the case, that's mostly all done. And this is a series that initially we were all actually really impressed with at the beginning of the season, which is Bryhnhildr.
Yep. So
Richard.
Yeah, I'll talk about that. So Bryhnhildr in the darkness.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. So this one takes a little bit of setup because it's kind of the coolest thing about it is how the setup is not the story you think you're getting. Like, the setup seems very very one way, but the actual story is completely different. And it's basically about a boy named Ryota. And when he was a kid, he had a friend named Kuroneko, this girl, and she believed in aliens. And one day he asked her to prove it, that aliens existed. And in the process, of her taking him to where she saw aliens, they cross a dam. He falls off the dam. She tries to catch him. They both end up falling. She dies. So
he gets injured very badly.
Yeah, he gets injured very badly. But he kind of redevotes his life after this to joining JAXA and NASA and finding alien life, which was her dream. Because he feels that if she wouldn't have caught him, then she would be alive. And then one day into his class walks a girl who looks exactly like an older version of Kuroneko.
Boom.
And so you're like, oh, okay, wow, And, he can't figure out whether it's her or not. It's that kind of back and forth kind of thing. She says she's not this girl, even though her name is Kuroha Neko, which is almost exactly the same. But basically she tells him that he's going to die if he doesn't do something. And he does it anyway to see if she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
And
although he does it smartly.
Yes, he does do it smartly. We'll get into that, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But in the process, even though he should die, she intervenes and saves him using her magical powers. No, it's not about aliens. It's about witches. Didn't see that one coming. So it's kind of about that. That's basically the general plot is about this girl who's a witch and who looks like his dead childhood best friend or whatever. And it's really dark, really, really dark. And it's what I think that the best way to explain it is they keep trying to force the characters into typical cliches of a story like this. Like, let's go to the beach together kind of thing, right?
I'm going to save the girl.
Or I'm going to save the girl. Or these things they set him into. And it's like, so he says, let's go to the beach. Only to discover that, she's actually going to die before then. And so she's
Yeah.
basically they're all witches. The female characters are witches who've been experimented on. They have implants in their neck that can kill them, and they have to take medicine every 35 hours or they decompose.
Yep.
And this decomposition is kind of freaky.
Yeah,
Oh,
their
yeah.
skin splits.
They melt.
And bleeds. Yeah, their skin splits, they start to bleed, and then they liquefy. It is not
I
happy
mean,
fun time.
for an animation in anime, I'm just kind of looking at screen going, "Ugh."
Yeah. Even with the censors, even with the censoring Steam, it's still. Ugh.
You just don't want to know what's going on there.
No.
And that's where it's succeeding. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially when
and-
it happens to a character that they actually kind of establish.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
Yeah, and it just like watching them. Yeah, like it's not like while if you press the button on their on their neck implant and kill them, like they'll decompose instantly. But if not, if it waits over the 35 hours, it's this
horrifying.
horrible process where their skin just starts splitting apart and bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
And
idea that he's like,
makes...
let's go to the beach and have happy memories. And to get there, she's taking her medicine at the last possible second. So she's in this constant state of pain and like split bleeding skin.
Yeah. And this piece of information makes the opening look so much more...
Yeah, it better.
Makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
God, the opening
In a
is
creepy way.
creepy.
Oh,
yeah.
that theme song. Ooh.
Just no actual lyrics, just that
No lyrics,
chanting.
it's just
kind of
instrumental.
thing.
Yeah,
And
it's a single chord progression that gets built on over and over for the entire opening.
Yeah,
And I mean, that, for some reason, that's just creepy.
it is.
Well,
But it's awesome.
It's a really cool. Yeah, it's basically you see everyone living normal, happy lives except
Against the
for the
destroyed
witch
background.
who's dead. Like
Yeah.
you see her
Yeah.
dead with her skin split, and then a piece of dust will come by, and suddenly she's alive, and the world is in ruin.
yeah.
And then they just keep
And
doing
the-
that with every character, and it's
The
creepy.
subtext there is...
Yep.
Of course, this is
Um,
all to be expected since this series is from the person who created Elf and Lied.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's it, yeah.
And but as you were saying earlier, you're absolutely right. The character is smart, and that is why I love this show. The main character is intelligent. He very much sets up a test to see if the girl can really tell the future. That's important for the point, for him to go on with. Like, how do I react from here is totally about whether she's insane or telling the truth. And so
Yep.
he has
Yeah.
to test it, and he goes to test it the only way he can test it. And he's as smart about it as possible, as in, it only affects him. No one else is going to die if he messes up. Like,
Yep.
and
Because he didn't get on the
yep,
bus.
Right.
So no one else is going to get hurt.
Yep, exactly.
And that's where I was like, I love this show because this guy is not holding an idiot flag.
No kidding. Yeah, and even when and yes, also when he was fighting the double A witch. I
Yeah.
I
Oh,
also
yeah.
like they didn't even say what her other second power was, and I knew what it was. I knew what it was
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
immediately where she's like, "Your future isn't changing." I'm like, "It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to change."
We don't need to change the future.
Yeah, time travel's a fun thing like that, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so that was the thing, but I liked immediately what he did because he knew that it didn't matter if he died
Yeah.
in the process. All he,
He
had
just
to
went
do
straight
was go
in.
for it.
Yeah.
He figures out the plan, he goes for it. Like it's
And
perfect.
he executes it marvelously, and it's a
Yeah.
great plan.
Yep. And so
I mean-
yeah, but at the same time, it's a plan that anyone could think of in that amount of time. It's not like he's a genius 1,500 steps ahead of someone. It's more like he's really
he has
on
the
game.
guts and the brains
Right.
Yeah.
to do it.
Right.
And that's what you need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's in this. He's very much in a situation that he never ever could have prepared himself to be in, but he knows the implications of what's going on. Every new piece of information he gets, he's able to use and exploit to help them. And that's great.
Just like earlier in the episode, he gets like a look at the drug, and he's able to discern where the drug came from
Yeah.
because he read in a book once how the drugs are labeled. It's
I thought that was a little convenient at the time.
it's a little convenient,
Yeah.
but at the
Just
same
almost like
time,
there's
he
no
didn't
prime
exactly.
formation, you know, how he had that photographic memory. It was just all of a sudden just drops it down and says, "Yeah, I've got photographic memory."
Well, I
So,
mean,
like,
the
you know,
normal guy
so-
can't be too normal, or
Yeah.
else the show would be boring.
I just, you know, I thought it was a
And
bit
let's
far
face
left
it,
when
as
it
far
just
as
come out of
crazy
nowhere.
superpowers go, photographic memory at least
Yeah.
exists. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like, it's a
Yeah.
thing that people have. It's rare, but it's not like the rarest thing in existence.
It's
So, you know.
and it works for this. I mean, it doesn't come off as too ham-fisted most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it should have been set up a little more with him, like, remembering things that we were like, how did you remember that? You know, but
Yeah.
it could have been set up more, sure.
Possibly,
but as
yeah.
far as it goes, yeah,
And I
and
personally was a little annoyed how they how two how I mean, granted one is a witch, but how those two easily infiltrated the factory. Like there's like no prior guards, no security camera, nothing. You know, I was just like it's just like I mean, like obviously it is shown that they are expecting them to come to a factory, but surely you don't just set one person like the double A. Person
Well,
in
you've
time.
got to think that these are a bunch of witches who escaped, so they probably have at least in their minds, and I don't blame them for this, that they aren't going to have any friends. They're all
Yeah.
they're all kind of operating independently. All these witches.
Yeah, but you would have set like you know like you do like a need to know basis information to your guards. Like they're just normal guards.
Well,
you know? At least
yeah.
you have some of those.
well, but that's the
But
thing
again,
is, think about it this way: they're not attacking the facility; they're attacking
No.
a pharmaceutical company, like a factory, not even a company, but like the factory where they manufacture the pills.
Yep.
So you have two choices. One, you leave the normal security staff there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they die from magical powers. Okay? And then you have to go through covering that up. Or you send the staff home, you wipe the security footage, and you send in this super duper witch who should be able to deal with whatever misfit comes their way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I
Yeah,
took
that's
it.
true.
I mean, it was more like they had no reason to believe that low-level B-class could beat super uber double A. Especially when double A has time travel powers. Come on.
And they didn't expect him to have. They didn't expect her to have friends, like I
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
So they didn't feel the need to pack it full of
Also,
guards or
like
something.
they pretty much show that they really don't think of anything. Like the head guys were dismissing the other head guys because it was like, yeah, it's not an issue. It's like they really didn't care. It's more like they wanted
Yeah.
to use this opportunity to test the loyalty of the other witches. So that's also it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Basically, the bad guys are full of pride and stupidity and underestimating their opponents, and that's going to drive the show, and it might get a little grating at times, but I'm hoping that they kind of up the stakes a little bit over the next few episodes.
They've already tried. They've sent in a AAA witch this time.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was double A plus plus.
It's
Oh, no,
not
sorry,
double
you're
A
right.
plus. Yeah, double A
Although
plus.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and call the show out really quick. All right, if I were this guy, if I were what's his name? It suddenly escaped me.
Ryota?
Ryota, yeah. If I was Ryota, the first thing I'd do if a mysterious transfer student suddenly came into the building would be to check their neck for one of those stupid things.
Yeah, like, no kidding. At this point, it's like, oh yeah, we have 3 people here who are all witches, and a third mysterious transfer student, especially because they called it out in that episode. He's like,
Yeah.
how many freaking transfer students can we have?
So
Like-
I'm hoping that the next episode,
He knows, he figured out
figures
already.
it out, because if they try to draw this out, I'm gonna have to start going.
Speaking of things that are drawing out that I really wish he figured out, the Kuroha thing is like, I love how they showed how
Oh.
he learned it, and
The
then
balls.
time travel made him forget it. It's like irony right there. It was awesome. I love that.
Oh, unintended
Yeah.
consequences.
Yeah.
That show has a lot of censorship as well. My lord.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
realize how much censorship we're really gonna get though. I thought, like, especially that. What was it? The hot spring?
Oh,
scene?
Kazumi.
Yeah, well, the hot spring scene was just whoa.
Whoa, yeah.
Whoa.
As far as I saw,
What's
I only
going
saw
on?
one.
But then again, it is
All I
Studio
saw was
Arms.
Steve.
It is
But I think-
Studio
I think-
Arms.
I think that's
So-
kind of the point, though, is remember, we're getting these cliches that we would find in a normal romantic
Yeah.
comedy about guy and amnesiac, childhood friend or whatever thing, right? Like, except every time like he thinks like the story is pretending it's going that way. It can't go that way because that's not the story we're actually telling.
No.
They're all
Hard
genre
left.
savvy, but to the wrong genre.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just called that scene the Blu-ray seller. I just called
Yeah.
that the Blu-ray seller.
It is.
Make
Yeah.
money. Yeah.
So
There's one scene I love in Bryhnhildr, which is the episode 2 when he does go to give out the leaflet for the school trip, and you see Kura Neko, and she's just singing her own little song.
Oh yeah, and
Best
she's
scene.
dancing and
Best
stuff.
scene entire
Yeah.
series so far.
Yeah.
Best scene so
Yeah.
far.
But yeah, I mean, it's good, right? I mean, it's something
Yeah.
that I think
it
you
is.
should definitely
I think
be
it.
watching
I think it. Yeah, it's definitely something that people should watch. Maybe
Oh,
it would
yeah.
be better to marathon it, possibly, but I'm going to be watching it weekly.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, I'll stick with it. I think I enjoy the characters mostly.
yeah.
Anything out of it anyway
Oh,
so
yeah.
far.
I really love Kana, the gothic Lolita.
She's hilarious.
She's funny,
the paraplegic
Yeah.
gothic Lolita.
Yeah.
especially when she cried over the cakes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When he first found
Oh,
cakes,
yeah.
the comedy's actually pretty solid in it. I have to admit.
So I mean, I still think that this is going to be one of the best ones out of this season. I really hope it's able to keep it up.
Oh yeah,
watching.
yeah. I think it's going to be a top 10 show. Yeah.
Top 10 show, definitely.
Yeah.
I think.
Who knows? Yeah.
How far up it goes is going to depend on how it plays out.
Yeah, how the second half goes, especially
And
how
I'm
it ends.
especially interested in seeing it. And
Yeah.
that's really all I have to say about it.
Yeah.
Another show that all of us,
Oh.
I think it was Kevin who was actually really astounded by episode, is Nanana's Buried
Yeah,
Treasure.
Nanana's Buried Treasure is about main character Jugo coming to this random island. In his dorm room, there's a ghost who's a NEET who apparently found these treasures. They're Nanana's buried treasures. So he's looking around the island for treasures and to find the ghost NEET's killer. It's great. I mean, but the biggest thing I have to say about it is episode 4 totally changed the tone of the show. It's like lighthearted, and I enjoyed it lighthearted. But then, oh my gosh, what am I watching? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Episode 4 was.
Yes.
You can't trust anyone in this show anymore.
It certainly does. If you gave it the 3-episode trial and then you watched the episode 4, it blows you out of the water. Simply put, it puts like all the episodes together in one neatly wrapped like 5-minute package to tell you what really went down. It was I thought it was really clever.
Yeah.
It's certainly
Yeah.
an amazing show.
And I love how they're doing the characters. Like, Jugo is like. He's
a
awesome.
dick. He's a
He's
dick.
like, I'm a big Fate Stay Night fan, so Shiro Emiya is an idiot who's like all heroic. Jugo is the 100% opposite. You don't know anything about him, and he makes fun of those idealistic beliefs. It's like, and because you don't know anything about it, it's just you're constantly curious about Jugo, and that's pretty much the biggest driving force for me.
Now this is crazy. I just realized I'm one episode behind. I am on episode 3. I haven't seen episode 4. So this is very interesting for me because it sounds like we're talking about two totally different shows.
We are now.
So that's that's interesting. Like I'm excited. Now I'm pumped because I was very surprised when like we were doing the pre-talk and everybody's like, yeah, no, and I'm like, no. That thing is just so subnormal. It's nothing. And now I'm hearing why you all are like. Don't get me wrong. I was just like the only thing I like watching the first 3 episodes have liked about it is the detective character, the genius detective girl.
Oh, she's absolutely fun. Yeah,
Because she's fun. Like I'm like, why isn't she the protagonist? I love the idea of people like genius detectives don't exist. You know, not little kid genius detectives. You are this crazy weird person. Like that's how everyone treats her. But no, she's legitimately super smart. You know? And so watching her go around, I've been like, man, why aren't we following this girl all the time? She's so much better than this guy. But it sounds to me like the whole show just dramatically
It's like, I was
changes.
watching it and I'm like,
So
am
now
I
I'm
watching
excited.
the right show? Did I click on the right thing? It's like, what is this? It's like, blows your mind. It's episode 4 it's fantastic.
Yeah,
It
it's a
reminds
game
me
changer.
of Fate Zero. It really does. It's like they plopped Fate
Ooh,
Zero
Fate
into
Zero.
Nanana. It's like, what?
All right. Well, like now I'm
Yeah, I'm like,
excited.
what at
See,
the moment?
now I
Yeah,
know.
I'm
Now
like-
I know what I'm doing when we finish this podcast. Immediately, I'm just gonna go beeline for it. Just boom.
It is certainly, mate. I think I think all the characters are actually really well written. I thought,
Yeah.
personally, from what I've seen so far. I mean, especially the comedy between the maid.
Oh,
Well, the maids. And
yes.
the play on the main character's expectations. Brilliant, I thought.
yes.
Every time.
Yeah.
The maid. The second trap that Kana Hanazawa
Yeah,
voice.
Kana Hawazawa, if you follow anime, she's in like literally every show. Like, I think there's only like one show we've mentioned
Yeah.
that she isn't in. She's in so much. It's like you will notice her. She's
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I think
Fun.
I'm surprised the show didn't get enough hype behind it. I mean, like, maybe it's just my implemented hype, because I think any show that has the Notamina slot in anime generally are really good. I mean, if you look at the track record, like Samurai Flamenco, which I personally love, Kids on the Slope, it shows, and Psycho Pass. Those are probably, I think, some of the more recent ones anyway. Most of them, I'd argue to say 3 of them are mostly outstanding. And to see this and Ping Pong get that same slot, and for me, I was already like kind of hyped myself really for everything that Nana's got to expect to give me even. And it's just, I think it's delivered so far every episode. It really has.
All right.
But I'm a bit
Well,
annoyed at some of the puzzles. Episode
excited.
I
2
like
with
the puzzles.
anyway.
They look. I mean, if you don't mind
Maybe.
CG,
Yeah.
then they're really cool.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't that. It's the premise. Like how I expect most media when they present a puzzle is like they also give the audience a chance to try and solve it quickly
Yeah.
before the main character does. And in the second one, it was basically, here's the treasure, go across, and like they didn't even give us like enough time to even gather the information of what might happen and what could you do.
Right, yeah, like
Until-
that was the thing. Like until the detective showed up in that room, we weren't even shown where the answer could be
back of the
seen.
door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we never saw the
it
back
was-
of the door up until that point, and so I was kind of like, so yeah, again, you're right. If you're gonna put a mystery, you have to give the audience time to solve it. That's why, like,
Yeah.
for example, Danganronpa. That's why it is such a great
Yeah.
game and such a
Yeah,
terrible
yeah.
anime.
Yeah,
Because
It really
there's
is, yeah.
no time to solve anything. They just chuck all the information at you and then they solve it in like 30 seconds and you're like, what the heck just happened? And that's the same, like, and it's the same problem, though not in the same way. It's like, oh, there's the information on how to solve it, and then the detective solves it immediately. Yeah, there's
Yeah, I mean-
no way for you to solve it. Like,
yeah.
yeah, also, like,
Especially-
I don't know how to treat
Oh,
it.
sorry, you go.
I was just going to say, like, I don't know how to treat a trap like that, because that trap was potentially fatal.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it seems that all of these traps are potentially fatal, and it kind of kills me because it also seems like you could wander into one.
No, but don't you need like specific keys and things to get to them?
But not the first one. Well, not the school one,
Yeah.
right? The school one was just a door. that
Yeah.
you
I think
opened.
they,
was
was it open? I thought there was a key.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
think
there
there
was
was.
first-
Gosh, I'm sorry, I don't
Yeah, I
remember.
thought,
if
yeah,
there
because
was a
the
key, was
Adventure
there?
Club. Yeah, the Adventure Club.
Oh, that's right. They
he,
did have a key. Okay, so I guess people can't stumble right into them. But the fact that like when they go into the room, right, to the desk one, you know, the main character just goes straight ahead because he's a moron like that sometimes. But the detective, if you notice, the first thing she does is check to see if she can open the door, and she can't.
Yeah.
Like, and so I'm like, oh, so your objects are succeed or fail, and fail is potentially lethal. I'm like, wow, no. You were an evil person when you were alive.
Yeah.
Like, you were like, well, if there's not mortal danger, then screw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially,
So, yeah.
I think like even the third, the second puzzle they give you, which was the
Spider
Pentagon
web.
room.
Yeah.
That was a bit funky, I thought as well. I actually even stopped. I thought to myself, we're at a pentagonal room. There's one side you can't see from one room. Okay, that makes sense to a certain degree. Then I thought to myself, I don't get any more. And it does literally blast all the information. You don't even get it until they just do it anyway. You're like, well, there you go. That's the puzzle. Well done for fixing, solving it. I'm like, yeah, I guess I did. I was there with the main characters. It isn't like some of the my favourite mystery shows like Hyuga or Gosek. They're some ones I remember dearly for mystery anime anyway, that is.
But yeah, so it's interesting.
the-
I can't wait to see how this fun-loving, silly anime with really no substance turns into something awesome. Now I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
Hype!
We don't disappoint.
No,
Yeah.
hype.
Hopefully we don't disappoint on that as front. It's
Look at all this
certainly
hype. Okay.
fun. Yeah. I think for the final show that a lot of us are all watching as well, it's Chaika, right?
Yep, Chaika the Coffin
aren't we?
Princess. Or
Yep.
sorry,
Yeah.
Coffin Princess Chaika. There we go.
Yeah, and that essentially, for people who don't know, it's about a series where we follow two saboteurs in a world that has recently gone into peace due to the fall of the last tyrant. And then we meet a suspicious lolly who's carrying a coffin around and asking for the dead remains of the tyrant. And that's the general premise of the show.
You should also say it's a
Saboteur-
fantasy, and you should also say
Yeah,
what.
that's what I'm
You
saying,
should
yeah,
also
it's
say
in
what a
fantasy
saboteur
world,
is.
Yeah, well, actually, I still don't know what a saboteur is. I'm going to be honest. I'm 4 episodes in, still not a clue.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
But yeah,
they're wetworks.
we
They're wetworks. They're wetworks
yeah,
people
but
that
as
have
in
the
what they're capable
the
of.
magical spell that gives
Yeah.
them super strength and super speed and super
of some
endurance.
form, yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the full capabilities yet. I mean, they haven't. For me, I don't think they've established fully what each and every one are capable of. But maybe that's all they are capable of, and there's no need for it, which is what I'm missing, maybe.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
so,
Maybe I was taking it literally because the spell is I am iron, I am steel. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
so they have the strength of iron, the strength of steel, like
To
I
be
mean,
fair, when I first heard that, I only had Unlimited Blade Works just screaming in the back of my head. I was just like, I am the bone of my... I'm like, shut up, Archer, it's not your time yet. We're watching a different show now. None of this no more. I really couldn't stop but keep thinking it was Unlimited Blade Works when every time they say it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and
for
that and the, a certain where everything seems to be crazy, like the unicorn has gone rabid and mad.
And
I
awesome.
like that unicorns are evil.
Yeah.
I like that they're evil things.
Yeah.
And then wizards don't use staff or wands.
They use-
what seems to be sniper
Yeah.
rifles.
Yeah, you sniper rifles.
Yeah, so it's a fun, wacky one. I have to admit. It's fun.
I'm gonna let you guys all in on something here. So I have a friend who used to watch anime, but has almost stopped completely because she hates fan service. It's just to the point where every time she sees it, it pulls her so far out of the anime, she can't watch it. So she tasked me, and she said, "Tell me what are anime that have no fan service." None. So this test is, I call it the Ray test. Okay, the Ray test. Very few things pass it. Attack on Titan amazingly passes it. Right?
Really?
Oh yeah.
Barely.
Isn't it like R shots all the time? It's like R shots all the time.
Well,
You got the second opening.
They tend to focus a lot on the ass when they're going through it, but it's not
real
fan
cool.
service.
But it's just where the camera is, so you can see where they're flying.
Yeah,
Is that the excuse? Isn't that the excuse though half
Well,
the time?
I don't know. Well, let me put it this way.
It's
I
not
did
fan
show her
service
Attack
in the
on Titan,
traditional
Yeah,
and
sense.
she
but
did. It passed. So.
Let's put it this
Fair
way:
enough.
the animators were probably just having fun with it occasionally.
But I mean, but Chaika, none. There's a
Yeah,
bath
it's one of the-
scene
Yeah.
with no fan service. Every
Yeah.
shot is from the neck up. When it is a wide shot, it's still from the neck up because the tub is obscuring. And the other character is in a full body towel that has no cleavage showing. It is
Yeah.
it is the most like I'm sitting there watching and I'm like, you have a lolly character and she's not sexualized. That blows my mind. I'm almost like, guys, you're not going to make any money off of this show. The otaku aren't going to buy this.
Yeah.
Like,
Where's the
I-
Blu-ray seller? Exactly, Rachel.
Your
Where's the Blu-ray
morals.
seller?
I find your
That'll
I find
be the
your
OVA,
morals
Ken.
So wonderful.
Oh, good point.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm like, it's not going to sell now. But
Well-
I'm happy that it's not going to sell.
You don't know. I mean,
to be fair,
they did just introduce a shapeshifter who can pretty much do whatever she wants to.
yeah. Plus, I'm sure they have the decensoring of the, let's say, the more violent scenes,
Yeah.
especially after the unicorn.
Oh yeah.
That was some of it was censored, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Maybe.
But yeah, there will be some decensoring some elsewhere.
But yeah, I'll say that surprises me. There are very, very few shows that I can just be like, there's no fan service in this. There's none.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's amazing that there isn't. And that's a strong point, like, in the series' favor.
For now.
So far,
now, yeah.
we're what, 4 episodes in, and
Yeah.
there's been none.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I think, like Koda said, with the inclusion of the shapeshifter, who knows? Who knows? Everything's possible now. Everything's possible.
Yeah.
I love. I was saying this earlier, but I don't think you were here, both Richard and David. In episode 2, when they explain who Chaika really is,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a scene with the main character's sister and Chaika, and they're like in an alleyway looking at the bridge. I don't know if you two remember the scene.
Yeah, I do.
Where the sister would go, Chaika would then respond, Chaika, her, and then she responds back, Chaika, and then puts on a smug face and looks back towards where the main scene is. Can someone explain what's actually going on in that like line of like dialogue? Is this like exposition to the max to tell me who Chaika really is?
Well, because if you remember what they're talking about on the bridge, is her, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're the bad guys, which are actually the good guys, are sitting there
Yeah.
explaining like, oh, she's evil, she's gonna destroy the world, basically, kind of things, and the response is like and the sister clearly doesn't believe it. It's just like Chaika's like Chaika.
Chaika. And then,
Like, yeah.
the word Chaika,
Like-
4 times in like 3 seconds. I'm like, my mind is blown.
I just think
I don't know
it's
what's
just
going
kind of
on.
like disbelief followed
Yeah.
by like
Yeah.
the fact that Chaika's Japanese is some of the most entertaining thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
Her
it
nonstop
seems
Her
so
broken
Japanese.
language.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
but
it.
like in the subtitles, it's like what she wants to do, and then how she wants to do it. Like it's
It's Yoda speak. That's what it is.
Yeah, she uses no particles in Japanese. Like, so it's really disjointed. It's just like noun, verb, noun, verb, noun, verb.
Particle speech with.
And it's
her
kind
use
of
magic.
Yeah, so she never uses particles. So it's very much it's broken, stilted. It's me Tarzan, you Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how she talks, and it's very funny and surprisingly
definitely
understandable.
funny,
Like I never don't understand what she says. It's it's just kind of
It's
funny.
more entertainment, like comedic value of anything
Yeah.
when she talks.
Yep.
Especially like every time they have to remind Chaika what they're actually doing, and then because she seems to be a young age, she doesn't really know what's actually they're meant to be doing anyway. Like when they enter the mansion, they're like, remember what we're doing, Chaika? She's like, aren't we getting a hot bath? Like she wants baths, a roof over her head, and a good night's sleep, not the main mission.
Not yes, we're actually here to rob this person. Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Chaika's like,
Oh.
okay.
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah.
Forget
But,
all that.
Yeah. That was
I
that's
love
the
her.
thing. Chaika's a very set. It's a simple adventure story,
Yeah.
and I like that from time to time. I don't like. That's the thing. You don't need every single story to be Madoka. You don't
No.
need it to be. You don't need it to be like this genre twisting kind of
No.
thing.
Yeah.
Like Chaika is just very much an adventure. There's some secrets to be discovered.
Yeah.
There's adventures to be had. There's fun battles, good characters. It's just a ride, and it's a fun one at that.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the newest story told, just to be well told, and that's all I ask for.
And one thing I love really much about this series is that Toru, the main character, doesn't even care if Chaika actually plummets the world back into a state of war. He wants that. That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, you're right. It's all about he doesn't have a place in the world. He is a soldier without a battlefield. He is big boss. Whatever.
Yeah.
So, he's lost in a world of peace. And so when people are like, the world, she'll throw the world into chaos. He's like, I'm
YOLO.
not seeing the problem.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's not a bad person. He's not out to kill
No.
people. He's not. He's not even out to start the war. It just if that happens, he doesn't care. And then again, the more we see about Chaika, it's pretty obvious that's not her goal. I mean,
No,
she may
she-
inadvertently do it, but it's not her
No.
goal.
She just wants to bury her dad.
Yeah.
I mean, at worst, it's just a thing to pass the time for him. If you think about it, like,
Yeah.
even if nothing does come by it, it's at least he got to do something, and get paid. he was, jokingly laughed at for being like someone who doesn't earn anything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time in episode 1.
Yeah, this is actually him being
no.
able to use his skills, like live his life as he should be living it. Okay, fair enough.
And don't forget, Chaika's liberal use of magic to improve her
Oh,
lifestyle is entertaining.
Well,
But
especially because like it has no power setting. It's like, okay, I'm gonna cook this turkey in 1 second.
Yeah, she boiled the turkey. And exploded.
And I just love though that the next scene is them eating the charred pieces.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, there's something with... Like, didn't she try and bake bread at one stage as well by like putting it on fire? And she's like, guys, I've got this. It's like,
But the-
you leave her on the kitchen. It's like,
I couldn't believe that the bath actually worked.
Yeah, I thought she blew up the bath water, turned it into pure steam.
Yeah, that's what I thought initially, but
But apparently, no,
she's
she
got the
actually
knack
did
for it.
okay.
She's got the knack for magic. She's got a knack for magic. And let's not forget, it's a sniper. Everyone loves sniper wizards. Like, that's my favorite kind of wizards.
And it's just so.
The one who
I also
snipers.
I like their magic system. I like that, like, for the sniper rifle, it's not the gun that's magical. It's her. She has to plug the sniper rifle into her. It's not the magical car, that they're driving. It's not the car that's magical.
Yeah.
It's her. She's the power source.
Yeah. It's everything's powered by mana, it seems, or some
Yeah,
form of...
everything's powered by words.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
her spells.
That's the real thing.
Oh man.
I'm a little disappointed in the... Well, I mean, especially the first villain. Well, the first remains boss, you could say.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
hopefully it gets better. Like, it seems to be going down that route anyway. Because you would have fought for a hero who once defeated the evil tyrant. He doesn't really use much in his house to use his all-powerful magic. Like, what? Like, in this, like, dial fight situation, you throw chairs around? Surely there's better things than chairs in your house. But, I mean, granted, he does use swords eventually, but, it takes him a while. But that's just my personal...
Well, like that guy was too dumb to live, so I'm surprised he made it out of the episode.
maybe, yeah.
Like his whole thing of like, gee, I'm gonna focus on this one guy and let the other two people roam completely free, including the girl who's supposed to be dead, who I watched die. She couldn't be something special or ominous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever. If the bad guy wants to be dumb, he better get his comeuppance, and he did. So
Yeah.
But has a set of nice characters to watch and follow anyway. I mean, like it's entertaining still as we go.
I gotta say though, the sister, I love her line of I won't let anyone talk bad about my brother, not even my brother. like her idealized version of him. She just keeps they're like two different people. So she'll scold the real version, but still has this idealized version in her head. It's fun. Yeah. It's fun.
Oh, and the line, her scene with when at the fourth episode, I think it was where.
Oh yeah.
He goes, I have a mission that's someone dear to me, and she catches on that it's not her, and she's just like sulking by lying on the floor face down, like in the corner, like I'm not that someone special. I'm not that someone special. I'm not that someone special. I was like that was fun. That was fun. And at least to clear it up straight away, they're not siblings by blood. They should have cleared that up before they made that joke. Very good of them. Very good.
Yeah.
Now there's no bad feelings. Well, not as bad things as should be anyway initially.
Yeah, it's interesting. I can't wait to learn more about their backstory. Like, did they meet at the war? Or have they known each other since they were little? Or what? Because obviously they're very, very, very close now. But I'm interested to see if that came from childhood things or came from the war. So.
Yeah. But so we've just talked about probably 6 excellent series, or actually 7 if I can count properly, and they're all excellent. And we'll probably all watch them, right? All the way to the end.
Yeah, you got me hooked on Chaika, so I'll probably watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and who knows how that'll turn out in the end. But obviously, as most animes end, we all sometimes ask for something a little more, don't we? Or ask for something different in that same universe. And this is the open topic we opened earlier. It was what we want out of what sequel or remake or spin-off that we want that hasn't been announced yet or been made. Right. Now this is quite the topic because obviously we've seen quite a lot, I would say, out of all of us.
Yeah.
And it's quite hard to pick a few. So, and I know I don't want to start because I still I've got my 3, but I don't know which ones, But let's ask Koda first.
All right.
Yeah, Koda.
All right.
I'll throw this bomb to you.
Well,
what 3?
Well, this was actually hard for me to nail down because I actually ended up with 6 different potential answers.
But we've got to have them down to 3.
I know. The first one I want to see is a continuation to Beck, Mongolian Chop Squad, because I loved that anime, and where it left off was a good ending point for the anime, but everything after that in the manga is just way better. It's just so much better, and I want to see that animated.
It did feel leaving a little wanting. I have to
Yeah.
admit as well.
And then the second one that I would like to see is a remake of Gantz, because a similar thing where the anime ended up was alright, but again the manga just gets better from that point. They don't even get to the best characters in the series. So, it's just something I want to see.
Can't say I've seen Gans, but yeah, I hear good things from it.
And the last one I want to see is, for once, a faithful adaptation of Maho Sensei.
Oh yes,
Negima.
yes.
Because
So
all
much.
the anime that they've done so far has just latched on to the fact that the beginning of the series is a comedy harem with a little bit of action, but it leaves off the fact that the series is actually a really serious
And that's
action
the whole
show.
point of the
And it's
Mirror
just
manga,
so
and then
better.
They just ignore it. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
No, okay. Let's be serious about this, though. Like, now, don't get me wrong. Like, I haven't seen all the Negima series. I saw the first series, and I've read about 90% of the manga. So I don't know how it ends, but let's just put it this way: it devolved into Dragon Ball Z.
But it was a good.
Like,
Dragon
that's a
Ball
bad
Z.
thing?
And that's and you can say that that's good or bad, but that's what it did. It didn't start off that way, and in fact, that tournament ended up taking like every other thing in that was going at a pretty good pace, and then suddenly it grinds to a halt because we're a fighting manga now, and you're gonna have to deal with it. And there's goods and bads from that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought the fights were pretty darn cool, especially the idea of using a roll of quarters basically as your weapon is pretty cool. I liked that a lot. I thought that was just crazy enough to be fun. But at the same time, and now don't get me wrong. Like I said, I never finished that whole tournament section, but the other implied time loops that were supposed to come after that, I've heard were completely abridged over. Like, you don't even see the other, 3 or 4 things we know he does that day. That they're just like, oh yeah, he did those off screen. And, I don't know.
It extends far beyond that, though, man. That's like the early third of the series.
Negima.
Yeah.
Gosh, 'cause I ended at 140. Chapter 1.
It's like
really
300
long.
chapters.
There's a lot more. What I just love about Negima that the anime just missed is Ken Akamatsu was tasked to make another harem show because, it was so popular. And he didn't want to.
Love Hina. Yeah.
But he wanted to do an action. Yeah, he wanted an
to do
action series.
So what he did was he made a harem that turned into an action series, thus trolling everybody. And I love it so much. But I love more of it. But we got UQ holder for that. They butchered the anime. I've always read the manga before, and then I gave the anime a shot once. I'm like, nope, no. So, yeah.
What about you, Kevin? Since you had such strong opinions on Negima, do you care to? I think it might be part of your list.
Actually, I totally forgot about it.
That's the reason why I picked you, because I thought it would seem to flow pretty well. So, But now we're still wondering.
I'm
Kevin,
I'm
do you
gonna
care to,
cheat a bit
expose your
here.
list? Oh, I hate
Everything
cheaters, but go
Studio
on.
Dean has ruined that I loved. Tsukihime, Fitsunai, Higurashi, Umineko. Studio Dean ruined those shows. No joke, Umineko is a joke. And Tsukihime does not exist. But Fate Stay Night is getting a remake. And, so that's that. But, I really want a Tsukihime, and I really wish that some other company picks up Higurashi and Umineko, because Higurashi was a good story, but then it looked like trash. And Umineko just didn't make sense in the anime. But then I heard a lot of people say that the game in the manga is way better than Higurashi. So I'm like, what? And yeah, it's like they butchered those shows. So that's a bit of my cheating there. I would say Durara, but we're getting a season 2 of that. And High School of the Dead. I really want more of it. Because it's the first zombie show that I've ever truly enjoyed, because it's just so balls to the wall enjoyable that I really don't care how much fan service it is. It's almost like a joke to me, the fan service. So I want more High School of the Dead.
The problem is there's just not that much more chapters to
but then,
adapt. Because it's on hiatus.
That means I'd like more manga too.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
You want everything.
That's the nature of humans, almost.
Yes.
But yeah, I have to admit that I cannot get past the fan service in High School of the Dead. So
I didn't enjoy it that much, to be honest.
No, it's
but,
not. It's not something to be enjoyed, especially the bullet dodging.
That was so
boots.
great.
Oh yeah, I saw a gif of that.
That's pretty infamous right there.
Almost as much as that
Yeah,
toothbrush
I
scene
can't
in
figure
Monogatari.
Oh my
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
That was a dark moment.
Yeah, I've seen that
was a
now.
Oh, you have? You went
enjoy-
back
I
and watched
enjoy-
that? Oh no.
I've been working on Monogatari for a couple of weeks now, and I passed that one by like last week or something. Yeah.
Are you still soldiering on to season 2? By the way, if you have, you'll be rewarded.
Didn't you say
I
Monogatari
always
is
soldier
definitely
on.
the weak?
It might take me a while. Like, I still have a series that I started back in November of last year, and it's only 12 episodes long, but I'm still
I
going.
know.
I'm on episode 11. One day, the 12th episode will be completed, and then I'll write a scathing review.
It's the same with me. I'm still one episode left. I'll finish Stratos 2. Just one day, I'll finish that.
Okay.
Really?
No. You don't have to finish Infinite Stratos 2.
I don't know. I feel like there's more Charlotte in it, and then I will be rewarded for my faith.
There isn't, okay? Just don't go anywhere near it. That's it. That's enough. We're moving on. Move on.
Okay.
No.
So what else?
Oh,
What
yeah,
else you
is
got?
that- and-
No,
is
no,
that
no.
Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin.
My last one is
Yeah,
Haruhi.
it was
I
one
want
more,
more
I think.
Haruhi. I mean, they finished it at
Yeah.
You said it for me. Yes, you said it for me. I'm okay. My list is okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't
They
break the rules.
finished
Go on.
it
No,
at a point
that's
where
certainly
I
true.
want more. They finished it at a good point, but then that's book 3. There's so much more after that, and like after they end it, I just want to see how the characters interact after that. But then you don't get it because they stopped animating it. It's like, and I'll have to go to the light
Yeah,
novel.
have
but
you,
it's like,
do you know do you know the story behind why Haruhi isn't anymore? I mean, to be fair, not to say that the information I'm about to disclose is actually true or not. Or like,
I haven't
it seems
heard.
to be anyway. It's that the two people who headed the animation for all of the production behind Haruhi. It was before the fact that the two people, the author and one of the producers, were actually really good friends. And the thing was, the author, like, for some reason, like, didn't write as much as he could, like at a normal pace. So it was actually less of the light novel to animate at the time. And for some reason, apparently, like, the fans weren't happy about the inclusion of one voice actor that you see a lot of. And he's actually featured in like Lucky Star and the SOS like the Lucky Channel. He's actually he's the male voice for that. He's the male voice for Sakamoto in Ninjachu. And a lot of people do not like how he's always in all these Kyoto Animation shows. And because of that, and because of Ninjachu sold really badly, the company actually bumped him down and quietly let him go. And so the entire link between Kyoto Animation and the author is almost gone. And so even if he did write more light novels to get animated, there's quite a low chance of it actually being animated, apparently. So
Aw.
So even though there is book 3 and book 4, apparently there's not enough for them to keep making series out of, and apparently that's...
There's
But aren't there like 9
yeah.
books? Yeah, there's 9 books,
Are they?
right?
I
There's a lot of
maybe,
Haruhi.
Maybe at the time then, my bad. But maybe at the time when they think about season 3 or something.
No, because when the
Yeah.
disappearance of Haruhi came out here in Japan,
Ah.
they were already up to 8 books.
Ah.
So, you know,
Wait, so did it... Oh, okay, fair enough then. So they actually covered all the 2 series, well, the 2 seasons, plus the movie covered book 1 and 2. how
yeah,
it
and I think it covered some of book 3 and 4 too. I think some of the stories. I don't think Endless. I think Endless 8 is actually in like 3 or 4. I think because 3 is the disappearance of Haruhi. But
Okay.
I'm not sure. Oh gosh. But yeah, like Endless 8. Gotta love that thing. That's like 5 pages in the light novel. It's nothing. It's a nothing chapter. It's great. But
endless.
No, I agree. That one's one that should that I would like
Bring
to
back.
see
It's
too.
so beloved. Yeah, it's so beloved. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love it anyway. It's just it'd be great to see those characters back again. You know, in that wacky setting they have. It's so fun. But David, what about your 3?
My 3?
Your 3.
Well, I'm gonna have
we
to
could
go.
probably guess one.
Oh, really? Well, I'm gonna have to go with the one that half of the anime viewing population is gonna go ahead and peg, and that's gonna be Spice and Wolf's 3rd
Yep.
season.
That was
We
one of
gotta
my
have
6.
that.
That was one of my
Yeah.
6. So
Yeah. So I mean, what can we say other than I thought Spice and Wolf. I'm reading the light novels right now because they've actually been officially brought over here, so I buy them.
Yep.
So I'm reading them, and the anime, it adapts exactly what it needs to, and you don't see that very much with adaptations.
No.
And more to the point, it just, while Spice and Wolf ended its 2nd season on a fairly good note, you just can't help but want more.
Yeah, it was kind of
And that's-
unfulfilling.
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely want more of that, and I'm sure, well, a couple of people on the open topic said that as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I hear it a lot from everywhere else as well.
Yeah.
We're probably never going to get it. And
No.
if we do get it,
Nice.
it probably won't be by the same team.
Well, they switched the teams anyways.
They switched the studio, but the director and a couple of people stayed on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it kept what it needed to keep going at the rate it was going. But yeah, Spice and Wolf.
Yeah.
Definitely wish I could have a sequel for that, namely a 3rd season. And I've got an interesting one here, which this is a recent one, so by no means is it like I want this to happen, but it's never going to happen. But I want the closing chapter of White Album 2 to come out. I really want it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost there's like 2 more giant chunks left of the story.
There was the introductory chapter, which we
Which
covered.
we've seen. Yeah.
And now the closing chapter is bigger than the introductory chapter as I hear it. And,
Yeah, well, because
it's
there's
the second part.
Yeah, it's the second part, but yeah, it's double the length because it's actually like it's almost 2 games in one. The second half or the second game, the closing chapter. Yeah, one that's just about shoot, what's her name? Not the piano player, but the other one. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just about him
Yeah,
and
yeah.
her. It's about him and her in college.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the final third is the return of the piano player from abroad. And how it all works together when he's got his job and his own life and the final choice and all that good stuff. Yeah, no, I'd love it. White Album 2,
so
it's good stuff.
I really hope that I think Satellite was behind it. I hope they come back and pull that one off.
Who
I
knows?
really do.
I mean, I hope, but...
There's a lot of hoping. We aren't too far out at this point. We're under a year out from its
We
airing,
haven't hit
so
like, the 5-year threshold, you know.
I think I peg it at like
5
2
years, it's
years
gone.
where I start losing hope. But
Well, it's just... honestly, I'll tell you what the studio is doing. They're sitting there, and they're watching the DVD or the Blu-ray sales and the DVD sales and seeing how it goes.
yeah,
And if it
I
goes
hope
enough,
White Album 2
then they'll
does
be able
go.
to do it. If
I'll
not,
probably be picking it up sooner or later. But
Yeah.
and that's life.
so I mean,
But yeah.
And do you have a third choice?
yes,
Or you
yes,
can
I do. And basically, it's just a call out to Sunrise. Make the damn Gundam Seed movie already. do it. That's right, Sunrise, I'm talking to you. I don't care if the Destiny sucked. Give me the movie. That's all I have to say about that.
Isn't the author sick? Like, seriously sick?
And
that's why
it's
stopped?
like... I thought it was just because it was in development hell. There was no particular reason for it. It's just the fact that all the staff at Sunrise moved on to 00, and everything kind of fell, because Destiny became the black sheep of the whole franchise. Everyone hates it, almost as much as everybody hates Gundam Age. So I thought... what I glean from it is that Sunrise just kind of has no time for it, so they don't pay it any mind.
Yeah, no, I'm relatively sure that the author has a serious illness, like
right.
cancer serious, and
now
that's
you
why
should
it
feel
went.
bad, David.
Went
Yeah.
on
Now you should feel
hiatus.
bad.
Okay, we've been waiting for this for 10 years. Doesn't matter if he's sick. He can't have been sick that long.
No, I think
That
it
still
still
means that-
cancer.
I don't know, if it's cancerous, I reckon you could.
But
Yeah.
Still...
don't get me wrong.
mean-
I want it as much as you do. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's not like I don't think it's anybody being lazy that did it. I think it's.
I've never heard about this author thing, so I guess if that is true, I stand corrected and I apologize to an extent. But at the same time, it's been in development hell for so long. Can we just get it, please? Come on. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yes, it will be.
Sorry.
you, Richard?
Yeah,
What
here I'm
your-
doing. I'm
what's
looking.
your
I'm looking for the fact checking, but I haven't
Oh,
been
you're
able
still
to find
looking?
it yet.
Oh.
Well. Well, we'll continue on, and maybe I'll find out, and maybe I won't.
All right. So, I'm the last person before you, so I'll try and take my time.
All right. Yeah.
So my picks, surprisingly, if you did pay attention to the shows that I said were my top 3 animes of all time, you would realise that some of them, they don't do well in the sales, and they haven't got season 2 or what. So I think
Yes,
my first
kid.
pick, easily, I yearn for it every year. It's Sora no Woto, Sound in the Sky. The ending was just so poignant that it made me feel sad, and I want to see the potential adventures left within the party that we follow for the 12 episodes, and it just leaves you wanting more, because the final episodes was them telling their life plans before they depart one another, and it's just, and after spending 12 fun episodes with them, you can't help but feel, holy crap, where's my season 2? You've broken my heart in too many ways, like in so many ways possible, that there isn't a season 2. And it was so sad that how it ended. That it wasn't like everyone dies or something. It was like it resolves the final arc, and then they look into the future and they tell what they're going to do, their future plans. You're like, oh my god, I want to know that. I want to see that. And we're never going to get it, seems. I mean, the writer for it, he still got a job. I mean, he did other shows. He did like Vivid Operation, Guilty Crown. I mean, granted they weren't exactly glorious, but he's still writing, so hopefully maybe he'll get right back into Sora no Woto, and I'll be a happy viewer once again. But like I said, these are quite obscure. Well, that was definitely obscure. So, but here's one that I think that's sad to see. That I think if we have watched it, if you watched it, you'll know why. And I want to see a remake for the final arc or final seasons of School Rumble. Like, holy crap, cow! The final season was cut down to 2 episodes. We had 26 episodes planned, and it got cut to 2. And they expect me to be happy with these 2 episodes?
Oh, it's like the
was-
third arc of Kenshin, the entire Inishi arc, when they released it as a 2-episode OVA, and it's like, what are you talking about? Oh
Yeah,
my
and-
god!
like the previous seasons, we've had full 26 episode 2 calls, series, and then School Rumble to finish off as a 2 episode. It almost felt like Firefly movie. I was like, this isn't almost enough to satisfy me. Like, you break. What? How? I spent 50 episodes and this is it? This is all I get? This is not how you close. This is no closure whatsoever between me and School Rumble, and I just want more School Rumble, really. It was just like, it was probably one of my few of my favourite romance comedy animes I've seen, and I still hold it dearly. But yeah, I really want more School. Well, I need a remake because I know it's finished. And my final one, it's a bit of a toss-up. It was between if I say it's cheating, so I would like to see more of Ninjachu. One of the most funniest comedy series I've seen from Kyoto Animation. If you remember it, I don't know if you guys saw it. It was basically slapstick for 26 episodes.
Never seen it.
I was grasping for air all the way through that series, and to see it and to hear it bomb so badly in sales, and people thought that never getting a second season as well. Oh, man, no more Sakamoto, no more Hakase, no more anyone. Their shenanigans would not be seen anymore, apart from in the manga. So it's just, I just want more Ninjachu. It was so fun to watch. It was like 20 minutes of pure happiness, and I won't get any more. But hey, that's the life. How most animes live by: Blu-ray sales and DVD sales. But they are my pick, Richard.
All right. Yes, I did found my source. Yeah, in the March 2008 episode of Anime Age magazine, Chiaki Morosawa, which is the writer of Gundam Seed, female by the way. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yes, she had the plot outlined. However, she got cancer and required continuous treatment. And thus the project was put on infinite hiatus. I have absolutely no idea about anything post 2008, but there you go. That's what happened. And that is why
I stand corrected, and I guess I apologize.
Well, no, I mean, you can want it. I want it. I think we all want it. Yeah. But what we want is cancer to be gone and her to make the thing. Right?
Definitely still want it.
All right. Well, I'm going to cheat because I can cheat. Ha ha ha. No, I'm just going to throw it out there. God. Well, I'm just going to throw it out there that, because don't get me wrong, this will happen. I have no doubt in my mind that this season will happen. We will get a third season of Silver Spoon at some point, and it will be awesome. So,
yes, it will.
I mean, wasn't even a live adaptation actually announced?
Yeah, I watched it. I reviewed it.
You watched it. Yeah, you reviewed it.
It was terrible.
I said, yeah.
And Richard got very mad-faced.
Yeah, I was not happy with it. It basically, it basically turned it into one giant cliche, which was annoying.
Yeah,
but did it sell well though? Is the real question.
I'm sure it sold. I mean, it did pretty good in the box office, but that's expected of anything Silver Spoon. It's one of the most, if not the most popular manga out there right now. So there you go. Well, besides Attack on Titan, but
and One Piece, and
except for the shonen stuff, the general shonen stuff. You get what I mean. But yes, this one's going to be odd because I bet none of you have seen this. We're going to the old school, the 90s, so you better watch out.
Oh no, this is out of my depth.
But this is actually a sports anime. And I don't typically go in for sports anime. I mean, there's some I really like. I really like the Adachi manga stuff. Adachi,
it's quite
whatever he does, I'll do.
Now.
But the one that I really liked is called Princess Nine. Have you guys ever heard of this one?
I heard it.
This sounds familiar.
I vaguely heard
when.
That's right, Ani-TAY. Come on, guys, we can figure this out.
I heard it when.
Sorry, Princess.
I was at a convention and Vic Mignogna bring it up, and during his panel, but I don't know anything about it.
Okay, well, Princess Nine is basically about this. I believe it's an all-girls school, but what happens is they decide to make a baseball team because the main character is the daughter of a pitcher who was caught up in a scandal and forced to quit being a professional baseball pitcher. Unfairly, as it turns out. And this actually is based on a real-life event where this did happen, where this guy was unfairly forced out of baseball, banned for life, when he wasn't actually involved in the scandal. And this is about, his fictional daughter or whatever, who being a pitcher, playing baseball is her way of connecting. There's just one problem. Girls don't play baseball. And at least in Japan, there's softball, but not baseball. And so it's about her in this all-girls school where she forms a team of girls who decide that they are going to be on a baseball team. But of course, there's no female league, So it's all about them fighting to get their team recognized as a baseball team by the boys' league, you know, by the normal high school Koshian baseball league. And, you know, them building the team, them playing, them going to the local tournament, and them competing against the guys. And, you know, it ends with the end of their first season, which ends exactly as you would expect, which is they get close, but not quite. And which is what you'd expect. You know, I mean, it doesn't have to do with them being girls. It has to do with them being a new baseball team. You know, going against these established longtime schools. And, you know, I want to see more. I want to see them achieve the victory they've worked so hard for. And, yeah, totally obscure thing. But ever since I first saw it, I've always wanted more. And there isn't any. So there you go. Now to get on to stuff that you guys will know about, so we can all weigh in and be happy. Excel World.
Oh no! You want more of that?
Here's the
suddenly
thing.
Everyone polarized.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. If you've read my review, you know that I think the Dusk Reaper arc is the dumbest thing they could have possibly done. I hate that part of the story. It's so drawn out and so overly long and just so annoying. But I can't remember who was saying, what comes after, that's fun. You know, it's the stuff after that gets annoying. I'm more interested in the overall story. I want to see more of that animated. I like what's going on. I just didn't like that villain in that arc because it was so long and boring. Like, when it comes to Excel World, I love the first half. It's the second half I've got problems with. I really like
a sour taste in my mouth.
Well, and I just really love the Sword Art Online universe, which is Excel World. You know, they're the same. Frankly, they're the same story. They are the same story. And if you don't know they're the same story, well, too bad.
They very much make it that. There's like a crossover light novel about it too. They very much make it the same universe. And I mean, it's very interesting that they were airing at the same time, but with different studios doing it. So it's like, and they went totally different directions. Like, Excel World was small, and they actually truly adapted it. Sword Art Online was huge, but it did time jumps. So it's like, it's like, I put them at the same level, and I guess more Excel World wouldn't be a bad thing, but the second half was I don't think I can.
Well, no, and that's the same thing. I agree with especially even with Sword Art Online, the same thing. You know, I don't like the ALO story. I kind of like what it set up. I don't like how it turned out. I don't like how it was actualized. And the same thing with this. Like, the Dusk Reaper thing, if that would have been like a 4 or 5 episode story arc, I would have been fine. But have it be half the series? No. But again, just like with Sword Art Online, the following story arcs are good. You know? Just that's the thing about a series like that's that massive, is there are ups and downs, but just because it goes bad at one point doesn't mean that there isn't good stuff to come. So
but I'm pretty sure.
But obviously,
everybody
only watching
lost
the
hope
anime.
in it. That's what happened, because it turned into the most generic shonen you will ever see. So.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, like, if people knew that, I'm sure the Blu-rays might have been any better with the sales, but sadly, that's not how the industry works.
Well, let's be serious, though. Excel World is the more popular of the two.
It is?
Between Sword Art in Japan. Yeah, well, in light novel sales, Excel World almost all the time sells
because it's better written.
Sword Art Online. Well, okay, we can go through that, but same author. He basically just alternates books. He puts out one of Sword Art and then another one of Excel World, and just keeps going back and forth, and all that good stuff. But they're the top of the light novel chart every time a new one comes out, guaranteed.
Yep.
So I would not be surprised if we end up with another Excel World as well, just based on that. Maybe it'll be Excel World Brotherhood, and everyone will be happy. Sorry. Sorry, my dig at Full Metal Alchemist there.
Yeah, as I was saying,
We had the exact same comment in the after hours, so.
Oh, really? Okay.
I was gonna say, I was expecting like incoming Soul Eater joke here, Soul Eater Brotherhood, you know,
Yeah.
because Bones think of Bones giving everyone the Brotherhood treatment.
Right.
That's what we call it. And do you have a third choice?
Yes, I do. And this one, I bet you guys will almost all agree. Romantic comedy snafu. Give me more.
Oh, it's already got a second. It's already got a second season.
Yeah.
What, really?
Yeah.
Confirmed?
Yeah.
Well, see, look at that. I have had a great day. Okay, then my third is Silver Spoon. I'm sure it'll get one, and yeah, we're good. Okay, well, that was fun. I have had a happy day. Rock on.
Richard is so happy!
No,
So
okay.
look, only one of us is the winner here. Everyone's a loser.
Well,
Only Richard wins.
I already
Oh,
mentioned two
come
shows
on.
that I really wanted that got another, so I'm pretty happy. Oh, one thing I'm surprised wasn't
Yeah, I mean,
mentioned
like-
was Full Metal Panic, and I was really hoping one of you guys would bring it up so I wouldn't have to do so. No?
Nope.
No.
No,
No, what?
yeah,
I
sure.
think you'll
I'll
have
take any Full Metal Panic. I love everything that's Full Metal Panic. Like, I love the series, I love the manga, I love the light novels. I don't care which way the story is told, I enjoy it.
Well, I'm
I was
surprised.
kind of fine with where it left off, but
What I'm surprised wasn't
Kinda.
mentioned by any of us was Penny and Stocking.
No, that was on my list. That one's definitely on my list. Yeah, because that one, I mean, I loved their sequel bait ending. I thought that was really funny. That was a good
Yeah.
joke. Because honestly, I would watch the hell out of a series of like just Nisox and what's her name? Shoot, what are the other two? The
Ganty.
demons. Yeah,
Ganty
Scanty and Nisox. Like Scanty and Nisox going around with garter belts, collecting the pieces of Panty to challenge Evil Stalking. Oh my god, what a great series! I'll watch that.
Yeah.
Actually, but yeah, it actually came up. The one that the other one that just kind of popped into my head, Kenshin. Kenshin's third arc is by far the best, and it's never been animated.
Yep.
Like, the Shishio arc, that is boring crap. I'm sorry. Like, whatever. Oh, it's him versus his evil shadow, basically. No, freaking the Inishi arc, the final arc of Kenshin, is him versus his past. It's a collection of people who have all been wronged horribly by Kenshin while he was, a dick. And they come back and they basically are like, look, who knows what's going to happen when you go... when you die, that's up to God whether you go to heaven or hell. But by God, we're gonna get our earthly vengeance before you go. And let's face it, no one has more cause than Inishi. If you don't know, his brother is Kenshin's wife that he killed. So it's a very much more personal thing where the conflict is inside Kenshin. He thinks he should die for this. But he has to fight because if he doesn't, the earthly justice is going to be, enacted against everyone else he loves. And so, yeah.
Wow.
And the fact that Inishi is just better. Fundamentally better in every way than Kenshin. And so it's a really good story that, of course, go read the manga, people. But which got adapted into a 2-episode OVA where they cut out all of that. Ugh. You can tell I'm a little pissed. Still pissed, years later.
Sounds like the School Rumble problem.
Right. Yeah.
Alright.
So I thought I'd just quickly read out some that are from the actual open topic, because obviously we did mention a few that we do have a similar picks. I mean, El Salvador here, he wanted more High School of the Dead somehow. I mean, again, you wanted it, but one that I thought was actually excellent anime, but I didn't realize was a prequel, was Guy Ray Zero. It's actually just a prequel to another manga or story itself, and he said it was interesting enough. I thought, yeah, it was actually excellent. After this is complete spoilers, but episode 1, what you thought were main characters are all dead. You don't even follow the main characters in episode 1, and you follow this other set of characters afterwards. It just blows my mind completely. And he also wants more of the devil as a part-timer, which is actually a really fun show.
Yeah, sure.
And he does keeps supporting that the devil is actually on Earth still. And
there's many more novels. I promise you, there are many more light novels in that series.
Yeah, and one that caught me really sideways was Infinite Stratos. I feel like if you actually read all the comments, like Infinite Stratos like pops up more than once. Surprisingly, like people actually want more Infinite Stratos somehow. I mean, maybe because, like I said, maybe best girls. Like that's what everyone hears for, best girls, you know. But there was one. Yeah, I think there was. Just let me pull up the person here. Sorry, just Valkyris. He said he also wants Sunday Without God. I don't know if you watch this quite recent anime.
Mm-hmm. Actually, he's in luck. He's in luck. There's the OVA episode. It ends very ambiguously, like the series did. But there's actually the following episode is it's either coming out or just came out. You can refer back to my guide I wrote in December of like the extra episodes your favorite anime are getting. I did a post on that, and I included the release date for that one in there. So you will be getting at least an extra part of the story, the next chunk in an OVA. It was released on the final Blu-ray.
That.
Yeah,
it was actually a really solid anime. I actually really enjoyed the first arc. Actually, I didn't enjoy the rest of it because it was a bit wishy-washy. But the first arc was really good. I thought it really actually hurt strong with the heartstrings. Personally, I thought the one where you meet the father and then the resolution of his arc, that was absolutely astounding. I thought
very beautiful show.
The final, it really is actually. The use of orange is just astounding in that show. Well, maybe No Game No Life needs to take a note how much orange is needed.
Everything must take place at sunset. I'm sorry, what?
It's for dramatic cinematic effect. All right, it's only more exciting otherwise. And he taught Kiri Ace. These choices were interesting. He also said School Rumble like me and Spice and Wolf along with David. And these ones what caught me as well. Problem Child or Mandachi, the one with the kids who are like overpowered as hell or enter a new world, similar to No Game No Life. If Mandachi, Mondad Daiji, the one. Do you guys remember this? Like the 10-episode anime, and it's like they kill gods and stuff.
Nope.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Huh? Okay, fair enough. It was actually that show got really out of hand, and I don't know if it probably will get a second season or not. And there's one called Sankaria as well, the JC Staff anime. No, not JC, that's Studio Dean. Sorry, the Studio Dean, the one with the girl who becomes a zombie, and she falls in love. Well, the guy falls in love with the girl, but she's a zombie, and so they have to try and keep her alive and stuff. By her consuming the plant. I can't remember what it was, and then they have to like keep her body frozen because obviously she's decomposing every now and then. But yeah, and I guess just we can fit one more in. Dark Winter said he really liked Soul Eater, which I was surprised none of us said. You know, I thought maybe one of us would have got. I mean, like granted we got Soul Eater not, you know, the slice of life, the Yuri version almost, but you know, a complete Brotherhood remake, follow the manga more. Faithfully would be quite nice. Apparently it's a lot different apart from, you know, Friendship Punch. You know, I'm just saying Friendship Punch was a bit, you know, cringeworthy.
Yeah.
And apparently Future Diary or Mariah Nikki, I don't know if that's actually got more content after.
What, Mirai Nikki?
OVAs.
The redial?
They did redial though. They adapted that though already.
Yeah. Is there anything past that? I don't think there was.
No, but there is. The only thing they haven't animated is this really funny side story version of it, where on accident, Yuki and what's her name, and Yuno are killed off by the little godling, and so she takes the place. The little godling takes the place of our yandere queen, and the detective guy takes the place of Yuki, and it's about him totally messing up the story, because he's like, wait, all these people are gonna die horrible deaths? No, I'm smart enough to save these people. And so he completely derails the entire story.
Sounds great.
And it's a lot of fun. It's you know, as of course then the little godling keeps trying to kill him as he's like outsmarting her constantly by drawing the other diary users to him to save everyone's lives. It's great.
All right. Dark Winter was hoping for Dark Winter was hoping for something like in the future where they need a new god chosen, so almost maybe copy.
He can go read Big Order and have the same basic deal.
And I don't know if it will happen, but he would like. I think it would be pretty fun. But a Killer Kill Slice of Life spin-off where you follow the Elite Four. Like, no, sorry,
Kill la Kill Not? Is that what it's called? Kill la Kill Not?
Let me read it. A Slice of Life spin-off continuing after the ending, or a series that follow the Elite Four who when they are shortly recruited by Satsuki. Which would be, I think that would be okay.
Yeah.
But the spin-off, the Slice of Life spin-off would be pretty fun. But realistically, you probably get the Elite Four, that when they get shortly recruited. But yeah, the Slice of Life would be pretty interesting.
I don't think Slice of Life could be that violent.
Oh,
It can. It can.
No. It would be the kind of reimagining one where the uniform doesn't talk anymore and the blade is actually just a keychain and
it turns out that Kill la Kill was it turns out that Kill la Kill happened because all the main characters were on drugs.
Yeah.
No, David. All the characters had amnesia, and their ghost variant was screwing with their present life. Ghost variant was present.
All right, guys, we now need to collaborate on a new series.
Yeah, there we go. Oh my god.
So clearly, guys, we need to pen like a story and clearly a script and send it into one studio. Just all the students, hopefully, will be getting
fan fiction.
Oh, fan fiction. Oh god. Okay, sorry, this is killing me. We did the lists. I thought about it, and somehow I missed the most obvious things that needed sequels. Needed them. The two most obvious classic anime that need more. Like there's more source material out there, and I'll just say them. Vampire Hunter D.
Ooh.
There's books upon books of Vampire Hunter D, and then the other one would be Lodoss War, because Lodoss War is a 3-generational story, and we've never seen the first generation. And the Legend of Crystania 1981 anime is a pile of crap. Because they did, it's 2 episodes, low budget. They are supposed to cover 7 books.
Damn.
It's not good. But Crystania and Lodoss War's original arc, and maybe even an anime series that actually follows the books, would be nice. I'm just saying. So there you go. Those are things that the classic old school loves in me. Okay, sorry. I don't know why that popped into my head as we were ending, but there you go. Sorry.
Right. And with that all said, I think it's time we all say our goodbyes. So, Kevin, do you have anything to say before we leave?
I'm Ani-TAY, and I have a YouTube. Rock My Dash 1 2. We plug every time.
Sounds energetic about it. But do you want us to?
It's not like
handle it next time.
No, really. It's just like you guys don't. It's not like I want you to come and look at my page or anything. I don't need you.
Well, it's not like I want you on my page. Don't get the wrong idea.
It's not like I want you to read my reviews or anything. God.
No, all you need to do is add word Baka, and it's all done. He's basically an anime character altogether.
Well, I kind of like you guys, but don't get the wrong idea. I don't want you on my page.
Yeah. Right. Koda?
Alright, you can find me at Koda89.kinja.com.
You know you're in Kinja? Oh, I don't. Oh, dear.
Kinja!
Ani-TAY?
Yeah, just add the word Kinja. Sorry, carry on.
Well,
Alright.
Yeah, David?
You can, of course, find me on dexomega.kinja.com, because that's really difficult. And you can also find me on Twitter at Dexomega. Sometimes I toss something out there that
Ever
makes
17,
some sense.
woot woot.
Occasionally. Yes, I am playing that now. We'll see how it goes. That's all I've got. Who's next?
I guess I'll take the baton even. You can always find me at FruityDrink.kinja.com. Yeah, that's what I found out just before it's my turn. Yeah, actually the financial quarter's done, so that means my job's a lot easier. So I actually will be able to write a bit more now. So maybe you'll see me pop up somewhere with my unpopular opinions. So that's always fun. And Richard.
Yes. You can find me on Kotaku.com. You might have heard of it. No. You can also find me on Twitter at Biggest in Japan, because I am the one man alive arrogant enough to take the title.
Catchphrase.
Yeah, it's still
but yeah.
double entendres for years.
yes, so many. But yes, so yeah, I post on Kotaku every Tuesday and Friday. Usually, I try to crank out an anime review each Tuesday and each Friday at least, and post pretty constantly on Twitter about what I'm doing. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like what Twitter's used for. Yeah. And with that said, guys, it's episode 2. We're all now going to say goodbye because that's how podcast is. All right then. Bye.
Goodbye,
See you
people.
later. Hopefully, I hope you come back because that would be very nice if you came back and listened to more of this.
But
you'll
it's
get
not
the
like
wrong
we want
idea.
you to.
No, don't get the wrong idea. He doesn't really want me. God.
All right, so from now on, Rockman Dash has to play the tsundere.
Well done, Kevin. Well done.
All right.
Bye.
Maybe we're all proud of you. Right, bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.